Hello, legends of the internet! Starfish5Legend here, and welcome back to the great city of Shin Mirai. Now this is part 2 of exploring and showcasing this massive 10-month plus project that both me and my base mate Parsnip75 have been working on. If you have not seen part 1, it's linked right up in the iCard right there. Make sure to go do that to get all the juicy details on this fantastic project. In part 1, we explored the top 4 districts of this city, including the Tien, the Sho, the Takai, and finally the Iso. In today's video, we're going to be showcasing the final remaining 2, and the 2 that have been worked on the most in this city. The Migong and the Yin. So sit back, relax, get all comfy in that seat of yours, and peer into this screen as I take you on a voluptuous trip through the city. Welcome back, folks. Thanks for tuning into this part 1 and welcome to part 2 of this city. First, we're going to start with that right behind me. Yeah, we have some neon stuff on this server. It's pretty sick. But we're going to start with this massive sprawl of part of the city known as the Migong. Without further ado, let's just dive right into it, shall we? The district of Migong is a very cluttered and place where you find most of the impoverished individuals of the city. The higher-ups have tended to look too far towards the future and forgotten their own city in some aspects. And the Migong is the result of that. And while the people that live here are impoverished to a degree, and especially in comparison to those of the higher districts, they still all have relatively good lives and have found an ecosystem within their own large district here. If you're not a native to the city, traveling through the Migong feels like traveling an endless maze of brick and mortar, buildings built upon each other over and over again. It's hard to pick a spot where to start at the Migong district. There's just so much here. I want to start with saying Parsnip was the main builder of this district. She put in a lot, and I mean a lot, of work in all these fantastic buildings. Now, I've definitely helped here and there, but a lot of this has been her. My contribution to this part of the project has primarily been interiors. So I think we'll start right here in a bit of an intersection and a little bit of an open sky, which in a lot of the parts of the Migong is a bit of a rare occurrence. And so as you just saw, we flew past the 2 main gate towers right there that kind of invite people into the city. And right off the bat, we're greeted with a lovely little soup shop here, where you can get all kinds of manners of mushroom soup. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it to me either. Let's continue on though. And if we go right behind there, we have another little boardwalk down here with some more completed interiors. Here's a little storage place where a bunch of junk probably ended up, and probably lots of lost goods end up as well. Rounding the corner here, we have a little bit of another little abode that some individual would live in. Most of the interiors here and the whole vibe of the Migong is to feel a bit crowded and just very well lived in. If we come down this opposite way now, we have some other places with a lot of unfinished interiors. Here's another one that is finished though. Some sort of candle shop that leads right to the back to another little balcony overlooking the river here. We have another fun little interior here. And then a little fish shack up here where fresh fish caught each day would be sold. It even has a little basement for carving up the fish. Man, that must be a big fish. Over here we have more unfinished interiors, but one of my favorite parts of the city is this river right down here. Parsnip came through and did some amazing armor stands. Like this fishing net being thrown out to catch all the fishes. We also have these little floating lanterns that really just match the entire vibe of this part of the city. Across the river here, there's a bit of farmland and a bit of farmhouses. This place isn't fully furnished either. There are still a bit of torch spam to keep some of the monsters away, but it is looking pretty nice, especially from an aerial view. Making our way back to the main portion of the city though, and hopefully not getting lost within these winding, small little pathways that bring you all around. In fact, Migong, translated from simplified Chinese, is maze. So we really wanted to bring in that aspect of a maze of all the buildings. And only the real locals know exactly which turn to take. I think I've just gotten lost in the city already. Maybe I could fly out. Oh. But a multitude of these buildings don't quite have a furnished interior yet. And that's actually where I am coming in and starting a new project of doing an interior each day. And I'm making them as YouTube shorts. So make sure to tune in to see those each and every day where we do a fun little interior. Not super complex, only a couple minutes, but it's nice and fun. We got company. Eventually finding your way through the maze, you can end up on this side of the city where there's a bit more of a dock situation. We have some sort of robot or mechanical thing carrying a bunch of boxes and crates. Also some more docks here that lead out to this large bay area. Now we actually dug a large portion of land out here to make this more of a waterfront. Because in the future we're going to be bringing in a bunch of ships and more aquatic vehicles as well. But making your way down the docks here, you can actually come up and over to this beautiful little sauna that Parsnip put in. And oh man, if I could jump into the screen right now, I totally would. Get cleaned off on the showers in there, then just dive straight in to the bubbly, bubbly water. The other part of the Migong district is this right over here. And it is also very unfinished over here. This is probably some of the most unfinished parts of the Migong. And while I could take you through every nook and cranny of the Migong, I'm not sure if I know where everything is. And it's almost always fun to just explore the maze of this city and happen across new things all the time. But for now, I think we should move on into the Yin District. And there's several places from the Migong and the Iso that are little hidden entrances like this here. A little quaint interior, actually, secret entrance to something a bit more. The district of Yin is a not well-known district. It is hidden deep within the underbelly of the city of Shin Mirai, and the populace therein don't want to be found. Most are refugees from the law, or people who just despise the higher-ups of the city and wanting to get away from it all. They have built their own ecosystem, selling interesting items, we'll just put it as that. These large caverns used to be a large mining facility from the very ancient ages of the Shin city, when they first mined for a lot of the resources that built the first foundations of that city. But those mines have now been long forgotten and converted into what is now the Yin District. And while some lawbearers know of the Yin's existence, they turn a blind eye, whether it be not wanting to cause that much upheaval, or they too enjoy in some pleasures and merchandise that only the Yin can provide. Now, the Yin District is one of my personal favorites. I just love the atmosphere down here. We're making use of black concrete in the ceilings to really bring in that kind of gloomy, dark, and moody lighting. And while this is also not finished, a a lot of these buildings just look so cool with all the colors, all the vibrant lights that reflect off just the darkness of the concrete. Now this here is the main little square of the black market / Yin District. If we head on over here though, we can see our elevator actually connects all the way down here, and we can ride that all the way up to the Yin District and our storage system. But additionally, there's another carved out part of the wall here where Parsnip has built a bunch of buildings into this naturally generated cave and made it just look so cool. And while some of these buildings are missing just a little bit more life, we'll come through eventually here and just add in all the details and whatnot to just bring them to life. Similar to the Migong, it can be easy to get lost within these cavern walls. This is where we keep some villagers though. Heading back down through the main central area there, and heading down into this area, we have some more things that are, once again, unfinished. As you can tell, this project is a very much work in progress. And so I really hope you guys join me on the journey and continue to watch as we develop all these fun projects to just add more and more to this city to make it just a fantastic sight to behold. But currently right now here we have a bit of a sheep farm here for all our woolly needs. And across the way down here, we have a very simple iron farm by ENX04. But it produces. And as we're down here, you get a little bit of a sneak peek as to what the mountain terrain looked like before we built all the terrain above us. Moving back through, we have another branch off of the main central area here, all the way down to the opposite side of the mountain, where we have, I think, my favorite part in the whole city. And this is where some questionable flowers are being grown. We actually have a couple villagers over here and a fully automatic wheat farm too, that gathers a bunch of wheat for all our muddy needs and whatnot. But I just love the piping and all the artificial lights that cause these flowers to grow. It is fantastic. These interiors are actually done as well, fully furnished, and a bit of ramshackled. But that just is what the vibe is for down here. Some sort of extraction process happens here. We won't look too much into that. And finally, another small little build in the corner here. But making our way back out, we actually passed over this little lichen farm here that produces a stupid amount of lichen very quickly. And we actually have another staircase that brings us to yet another section of this sprawling cavern. And this here is our super smelter. Let me go into cheaty camera mode for this to show you a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes here. This super smelter was designed by myself using lava. Now on the server we do have the carpet feature that allows dispensers to interact with cauldrons. And so we use that here to automatically scoop the lava out whenever the system needs it. But climbing up even higher, we have this nice factory here. That's a more recent addition to the Yin District here. We've started to put in a lot of different farms that needed somewhere to go. And so like we have our amethysts come in through here. This is where the wheat is collected. Additionally, we have some bees buzzing away to get some honeycomb. And over in this section, we have a very nice and fancy blast chamber that can convert dirt into mud, or wax copper, or unoxidized copper, or strip logs. The design here is by Il Mango. Additionally, we can take that mud we get from that blast chamber there and dry it over on these large drying racks so we can get clay. That's about it for the Yin District. I don't want to give away all the secrets, but I will let you in on one more just because they're so fun. right up here, we have a little button that if we press, opens up a secret door that goes out into the Yin District here. And just like that, that's practically the entire city, or at least all the parts that kind of matter currently. There's still so much work to be done on this project, but so much work has been done already. So I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and enjoy the progress that me and Parsnip have made on this insane build. When we got the idea for this about a year ago now, we both thought it was a little out of the reach and didn't really know the style of Cyberpunk. But after many hours working, we have something that we both are pretty proud of and excited to continue to build up further and further. And more ideas keep flooding in the more and more we work on it. So like I said earlier, I hope you stay tuned to the channel as I will be posting several new videos improving and building upon this city here. And if you made it this far, thanks again for watching. You're amazing, and have a wonderful day, night, time zone, whatever it is for you.